There comes a moment in the journey of every chosen one when life stops whispering and begins shouting. A moment when the signs you once brushed off become undeniable, when the inner pull becomes too strong to silence, and when the truth about who you really are begins to rise to the surface with a force that cannot be ignored. This is that moment. This warning must reach you as fast as possible, because the season you are stepping into is not an ordinary season. It is a season of awakening, a season of clarity, and a season that requires immediate spiritual alignment. For too long, you have been questioned, overlooked, underestimated, and even misunderstood. But what you did not realize was that all of it was part of your refinement. Chosen ones are not born in comfort. They are shaped through pressure. The storms you survived were not accidents. They were divine training. The losses you endured were not failures. They were redirections. The people who walked away did not abandon you. They were removed so that your path could be cleared. When you are chosen, nothing happens to you without purpose. But here is the warning. The world you are stepping into now requires a different version of you. You cannot carry the same mindset, the same habits, or the same emotional baggage into the next chapter. The chosen ones are called into higher responsibility. And with higher responsibility comes a greater level of spiritual and emotional discipline. You can no longer afford to be distracted by people who do not understand your mission. You can no longer afford to give your energy to situations that drain your spirit. You can no longer afford to be loyal to what is hurting you. This is the time to separate from anything that delays your destiny. Truth is, you have always felt the difference. Even when you tried to blend in, something about you refused to shrink. Even when you tried to silence your spirit, something inside kept pulling you toward purpose. Even when you doubted yourself, there was a quiet voice telling you that you were meant for more. That voice is growing louder because the time has come for you to step into the identity that life has been preparing you for. You must understand that being chosen does not mean being superior. It means being responsible. You have been given insight others do not see, strength others do not carry, and endurance others cannot understand. This is why your battles were heavier. This is why your path was harder. This is why your healing took longer. Chosen ones do not walk easy roads, but they walk meaningful ones. And everything you have gone through has prepared you to handle what you are about to receive. However, this warning comes because the next level also comes with tests. Not everything that appears good is aligned with your purpose. Not everyone who approaches you has pure intentions. Not every opportunity is meant to be accepted. You must protect your spirit the way a soldier protects his mission. You must become intentional about who you allow into your space, what you feed your mind, and where you invest your time. The chosen cannot live casually. Your destiny is too important. And yet, this is also a season of acceleration. Doors will open quickly. Connections will form unexpectedly. Breakthroughs will happen suddenly. But only if you remain aligned, focused, and faithful to the calling placed upon your life. Chosen one, this warning is not meant to frighten you. It is meant to awaken you. You are standing at the edge of a powerful transformation, and everything inside you is being prepared for elevation. Do not doubt your worth. Do not question your path. Step forward with the confidence of someone who knows heaven has invested too much in them to fail. Your time has come. Rise to meet it. When you are chosen, life rarely makes sense at first. You move through seasons that feel heavier than what others experience. You walk into situations that seem unfair. You face storms that come without warning. And while others appear to move through life effortlessly, you find yourself in constant battles, internal battles, spiritual battles, emotional battles that are invisible to the world. But this is not happening because you are weak. It is happening because you are being positioned. Chosen ones are not trained in peaceful fields. They are trained on the front lines. And this warning must reach you now. You are entering a season where every lesson you suffered for is about to matter. There is a reason your life has been different. There is a reason you could never fully settle into the environments that felt comfortable to others. There is a reason temporary happiness never satisfied you. There is a reason your spirit always demanded more. Chosen ones cannot adjust to mediocrity. Even when you tried to fit into ordinary spaces, life kept pushing you out of them. The discomfort you felt was not punishment, it was alignment. You were being pulled toward a purpose your mind did not yet understand. But here is the warning you must hear. Now that clarity is approaching, distractions will intensify. The enemy does not attack those who are lost. He attacks those who are close to breakthrough. This is why you feel tired even after resting. This is why old temptations suddenly reappear. This is why certain people try to reconnect after being gone for so long. This is why unnecessary conflicts rise out of nowhere. The closer you get to your calling, the louder the noise becomes. But chosen ones must learn to recognize the difference between a distraction and a divine assignment. Your growth will not come without resistance. The moment you choose to rise, something will try to pull you back. The moment you choose peace, chaos will test your patience. The moment you choose discipline, old habits will try to invite you back. This is not a sign that you are failing. It is a sign that you are being transformed. The chosen ones must learn to stand firm, even when the ground beneath them is shaking. You are not being tested to be broken. You are being tested to be strengthened. There will also be moments when loneliness surrounds you, not because you are unworthy of connection, but because elevation requires separation. You cannot carry everyone into your next season. You cannot seek validation from people who fear your growth. You cannot explain your calling to those who are spiritually asleep. You are being asked to walk a path that demands courage, focus, and spiritual maturity. That path is not crowded, but it is meaningful. You will not walk it alone. Heaven is walking it with you. You must also embrace this truth. Your voice, your presence, your influence, and your journey are not random. Chosen ones are placed in specific environments for a reason. Some people will heal because of your courage. Some will rise because of your example. Some will change their lives because you refuse to give up. This is why you were chosen, not to simply survive, but to elevate others as you elevate yourself. This warning must reach you because your next chapter is approaching quickly and you cannot enter it unprepared. Everything you have endured was preparing you for a purpose far larger than your pain. Do not allow fear to delay what destiny is demanding. Do not shrink because others feel uncomfortable with your growth. You were chosen to rise, to lead, to transform, and to carry a light that the world desperately needs. Stand firm, stay awake, and step boldly into the season that is waiting for you. Your breakthrough is closer than you think, and your time is no longer coming. It has arrived. Every chosen one eventually reaches a point in their journey when the illusions of the world begin to fall away. Distractions lose their flavor, noise loses its power, and the superficial things that once entertained you now feel empty and meaningless. This is not by accident. It is the signal that your spirit is maturing, awakening, and elevating beyond the level of the world around you. When you are chosen, you are not allowed to stay asleep. You are not permitted to settle into comfort. You are summoned, sometimes gently, sometimes violently, into awareness. And this warning must reach you now. Your awakening is not an option. It is a requirement. There is a calling on your life that refuses to be ignored. You may have tried to bury it under routine, relationships, responsibilities, or doubts, but it keeps resurfacing. You may have tried to silence it with excuses or fears, but it grows louder. You may have tried to convince yourself that you are not qualified, not ready, or not strong enough, but your spirit knows the truth. The chosen ones are never chosen because they are perfect. They are chosen because they are willing to grow, willing to learn, willing to rise even after falling 1,000 times. But here is the warning. As your purpose becomes clearer, the attacks become sharper. Not physical attacks, but spiritual and emotional ones. Attacks on your identity, on your confidence, on your peace, on your focus. You will notice how suddenly your mind becomes a battlefield. Thoughts of doubt, fear, anxiety, and insecurity begin to appear out of nowhere. You may start questioning your worth or your path. You may start feeling overwhelmed by responsibilities you once handled with ease. This is not weakness. This is warfare. The closer you move toward your assignment, the more resistance you will encounter. Chosen ones must learn to discern between internal resistance and external interference. Sometimes the battle is not around you, it is inside you. Old wounds you thought were healed may resurface. Old habits you conquered may try to return. Old versions of yourself may attempt to pull you back into who you used to be. This is because elevation demands purification. You cannot enter your next level with the weight of your past tied to your ankles. You must release what no longer serves your growth. You must also recognize that not everyone around you is prepared for who you are becoming. Some will misunderstand your transformation. Some will feel threatened by your progress. Some will distance themselves because your awakening exposes their stagnation. And some will try to pull you back down because your rise reminds them of their refusal to rise. But hear this clearly. The chosen ones are not responsible for the comfort of others. You are responsible only for your obedience to your calling. This warning reaches you at a delicate moment because this is the season when many chosen ones sabotage their own destiny. Not because of weakness, but because of fear. Fear of outgrowing old circles. Fear of stepping into the unknown. Fear of leaving behind what once felt safe. Fear of becoming someone greater than you ever imagined. But fear cannot lead you. If fear remains in charge, purpose will remain out of reach. This is the season when you must choose growth over comfort, purpose over familiarity, and destiny over distraction. You must trust that the same force that awakened you is the same force guiding you. Nothing is random. Nothing is wasted. Everything is preparing you. Chosen one, this warning is not meant to intimidate you. It is meant to protect you. You are stepping into a chapter where your spirit, your purpose, and your influence will expand in ways you cannot yet imagine. But you must stay awake. You must stay grounded. You must refuse to shrink. You are not being called to survive. You are being called to transform. Rise with confidence, move with purpose, and embrace the destiny that has been waiting for you since the beginning. Your awakening is here, and your elevation has already begun. There comes a time in the journey of every chosen one when the world begins to test the very core of who you are. Not your strength, not your talent, not your intelligence. Those are easy to measure, but your character, your faith, your endurance, your ability to stay grounded when life begins to shake every foundation you thought was secure. This warning must reach you now because you are entering a season where the stability of your spirit will matter more than the stability of your surroundings. Chosen ones are often placed in circumstances that feel confusing, uncomfortable, and even unfair. You may wonder why life seems harder for you than it is for others. You may ask yourself why you lose people you love, why your plans collapse unexpectedly, or why opportunities slip through your fingers just when you think you're getting close. But what you see as loss is often protection. What you see as delay is often preparation. And what you see as emptiness is often the clearing of space for something greater. There is a transformation taking place within you that demands room. You cannot carry old versions of yourself into new seasons. You cannot walk into your calling with the same fears that once paralyzed you. You cannot receive divine assignments while clinging to relationships that weaken your spirit. This warning must reach you because the next chapter of your life requires you to travel lighter, think deeper, and stand taller. You have noticed the changes already. You have felt friendships shifting, routines breaking, and desires you once had suddenly fading away. You feel a pull inside you that is guiding you to detach from what no longer aligns with your purpose. That pull is not random. It is the signal that you are being elevated. But elevation always begins with separation. Chosen ones must learn to walk away from what is familiar when it no longer feeds their destiny. But here lies the challenge. Elevation also brings exposure. As your light grows stronger, everything around you becomes more visible. People's intentions, hidden motives, quiet jealousy, silent resentment, and spiritual attacks disguised as everyday inconveniences. This is why your discernment must sharpen. This is why your intuition has become more sensitive. This is why you feel drained around certain people or uneasy in certain environments. Your spirit is warning you before your eyes can see the danger. You are being trained to trust your inner guidance more than the opinions of others. Not everyone who walks with you should speak into your life. And not everyone who praises you has pure motives. Some are attached to your potential, not your purpose. Some are attracted to your strength, but uninterested in your growth. And some only support you as long as you remain smaller than them. The chosen must learn to listen without absorbing, observe without reacting, and detach without apologizing. You must also understand that with elevation comes responsibility. You cannot expect greatness while living casually. You cannot ask for breakthroughs while nurturing habits that break you. You cannot demand clarity while surrounding yourself with confusion. Discipline is no longer optional. It is essential. Your spiritual life, your emotional health, your mental clarity, these must all become priorities. Because when you are chosen, your fall affects more than just you, and your rise lifts more people than you will ever meet. Chosen one, this warning is not meant to overwhelm you. It is meant to prepare you. You are stepping into a chapter where your influence will grow, your voice will matter, and your presence will shift atmospheres. But you must remain grounded, focused, and aligned. Do not cling to what life is trying to remove. Do not fear the unknown. Do not shrink when you are being called to rise. You are being positioned for something extraordinary, and this season, though challenging, is shaping the strength that will carry you into your destiny. Walk forward with confidence. The path is prepared, and your time is now. There is a moment in every chosen one's journey when life stops allowing you to remain who you used to be. The routines that once felt comfortable begin to feel restrictive. The conversations that used to entertain you now drain your spirit. The places you once felt at home suddenly feel too small for the person you're becoming. This is not confusion. This is not restlessness. This is the unmistakable sign that you are outgrowing the version of yourself that the world tried to keep you in. And this warning must reach you now. You are stepping into a stage where your transformation is no longer optional. It is necessary. For the chosen ones, growth rarely happens in peace. It happens in disruption. Life shakes you, stretches you, and exposes old wounds not to destroy you, but to free you. The things you're feeling, the sudden shifts, the unexpected endings, these are not random events. They are the signs that the container you once lived in can no longer hold the power, wisdom, and purpose rising within you. You are being expanded, even if it feels like you are being broken. You may notice that people you once trusted have begun to distance themselves. You may feel misunderstood by those who claim to care. You may sense that certain relationships are reaching their natural expiration date. Do not cling to what life is trying to release. Chosen ones often lose things before gaining what is meant for them. It is part of the process. The pruning is painful, but without it, your growth would be suffocated. This warning must reach you because the next stage of your calling requires clarity. Not partial clarity, not emotional clarity, spiritual clarity. Your decisions must become sharper. Your boundaries must become stronger. Your priorities must become unquestionable. You cannot say yes to everything and expect to fulfill a mission that demands focus. You cannot entertain every voice and expect to hear divine guidance. You cannot keep pouring into people who only take and never replenish. Your purpose is too valuable for scattered energy. And as you rise, understand this: chosen ones will always face resistance disguised as comfort. There will be moments when the old you tries to pull you back. Moments when the familiar feels safer than the future. Moments when you are tempted to settle simply because you are tired. But settling is the enemy of the chosen. Comfort is the trap. Familiarity is the cage. If you choose safety over purpose, you will suffocate the very destiny you were born to fulfill. Your spirit has already begun to shift. That inner pressure you feel is your higher self, refusing to let you shrink again. The dreams that keep resurfacing, the ideas you cannot shake, the urge to detach from certain patterns. These are all signs of divine progression. Do not ignore them. Do not postpone change. You are not being pushed. You are being elevated. You will also notice that your sensitivity has increased. You feel energy more deeply. You sense intentions faster. You discern truth more clearly. This heightened awareness is not a burden. It is a gift, but it also comes with responsibility. You must protect your spirit. Not everyone deserves access to you. Not everyone should know your plans. Not everyone is meant to walk with you into your next season. Chosen ones are separated not out of arrogance, but out of necessity. This warning must reach you because you are standing at the threshold of a transformation that will redefine your entire life. The doors opening ahead of you require strength, humility, courage, and unwavering trust in the path laid before you. Do not allow fear to make you small. Do not let the past convince you that you are unworthy of the future. You are chosen for a reason. You are rising for a purpose. Step into this new season with boldness, with clarity, and with the understanding that everything you have endured has prepared you for exactly where you are going. Your elevation is not just coming, it has already begun. There is a stage in every chosen one's journey when the pressure intensifies, not because you are doing something wrong, but because you are finally doing something right. This is the point where life begins to remove the last layers that no longer belong to you. The final illusions fall. The last attachments loosen. The distractions that once entertained you now irritate your spirit. And the things that once made you comfortable suddenly make you feel stuck. This warning must reach you now. You are entering a season of divine refinement, and nothing in your life will remain the same. For too long you have carried responsibilities that were never yours. You have absorbed pain that was never meant for you. You have carried people who had no intention of walking on their own. You have given your energy to situations that only drained you. And because of your strength, because of your because of your compassion, you kept moving forward even when your spirit was exhausted. But chosen ones are not called to be everyone's foundation. You are called to be the vessel through which purpose flows. And for purpose to flow freely, unnecessary weight must be removed, no matter how familiar, how comfortable, or how emotionally attached you feel to it. This is why the pressure has increased. This is why you feel stretched in every direction. This is why life seems to be demanding more from you than ever before. But hear this clearly. Pressure is not punishment. Pressure is birth. Something is about to emerge from you that has been hidden for years, a version of yourself that you've only glimpsed in moments of courage, clarity, and spiritual sensitivity is ready to rise. But before it rises, everything that is not aligned with your destiny must be stripped away. This warning must reach you because the next level of your journey is not entered by accident. It requires intention, spiritual alertness, and emotional discipline. The enemies you will face at this level are subtle, not loud, not obvious, not dramatic, They come disguised as things that look harmless: comfort, complacency, familiar cycles, old habits, and people who appear supportive but carry silent fears about your growth. You must become discerning enough to see through what your eyes cannot interpret. Chosen ones are not protected by sight. They are protected by intuition. You have already begun to feel the separation. People who once understood you now seem distant. Conversations that once flowed now feel forced. Environments that once boosted you now drain you. This is not rejection, it is divine alignment. When you are being elevated, life will naturally remove those who cannot breathe at the altitude you are rising to. You cannot take everyone with you, not because you are better than them, but because they are not willing to grow at the pace destiny requires. You are also being called into a deeper responsibility with your own spirit. You can no longer ignore the internal voice guiding you. You can no longer silence the intuition that has been warning you. You can no longer delay decisions that you know must be made. This season demands courage, the kind of courage that forces you to stop negotiating with fear, the kind of courage that asks you to stand alone if you must, the kind of courage that requires you to trust the unseen more than the visible. And in the midst of all this, remember that chosen ones are never left without guidance. Even when you feel alone, you are being guided. Even when you feel confused, you are being aligned. Even when you feel overwhelmed, you are being strengthened. Nothing is being taken from you without something greater being prepared for you. This warning must reach you because you are standing at the turning point of your destiny. Everything you have endured, everything you have survived, everything that tried to break you, it was all shaping the version of you that is ready to emerge now. Do not fear the pressure. Do not resist the transformation. Do not cling to what is falling away. You are not being stripped. You are being revealed. Step forward with boldness, embrace the elevation, and trust that what is coming is far greater than anything you are leaving behind. Your next chapter is not waiting for you. It is calling you. And it is time to answer. There is a moment in the life of every chosen one when waiting is no longer an option. You feel a sense of urgency deep in your spirit, a push that cannot be ignored, a call that transcends logic or comfort. This warning must reach you as fast as possible because the season you are entering demands readiness, discernment, and courage unlike anything you have faced before. The world will not pause for your clarity. Your breakthrough cannot wait for your hesitation. The chosen ones are rising, and every second matters. For years, you may have felt out of place, misunderstood, or even invisible. You have been surrounded by people who could not comprehend the magnitude of your potential. You have walked paths that seemed lonely, yet they were necessary for your preparation. Everything you have endured, the disappointments, the betrayals, the failures, the sleepless nights, was not wasted. It was shaping your resilience, refining your spirit, and teaching you lessons that only the chosen can truly understand. You were never meant to remain small, and now the time to rise is urgent. But with this urgency comes a warning. The closer you move toward your destiny, the more the world will try to slow you down. Not everyone will celebrate your progress. Not every opportunity that looks promising is meant for you. Not every voice that speaks into your life is aligned with your purpose. Chosen ones are often challenged by the very people who claim to love them. This is why discernment is no longer optional. It is essential. You must protect your mind, your energy, and your spirit at all costs. Do not allow anyone or anything to redirect your focus away from the assignment you were born to fulfill. Your journey now requires that you let go of what no longer serves your growth. Old relationships, outdated beliefs, and familiar habits that limit your potential must be released, even if it feels uncomfortable. Separation is not rejection, it is refinement. Chosen ones often move alone because the company of the unaligned slows progress and clouds vision. You may feel the weight of this isolation, but remember that elevation is never crowded. True purpose often requires walking a path that only you can walk, guided by intuition, faith, and the unseen hand of destiny. This is also the moment to embrace the power within you. The challenges you have faced were never meant to destroy you. They were meant to awaken you. The pain you have endured has sharpened your vision. The disappointments have strengthened your resolve. The setbacks have taught you endurance. Now, everything within you is aligning to break through limitations, surpass obstacles, and step into a higher version of yourself. But only if you respond with faith, courage, and unwavering focus. The chosen ones must act decisively. There is no room for hesitation, doubt, or delay. Every step you take toward your purpose has consequences not only for you, but for those whose lives you are destined to impact. Your rise will inspire generations. Your breakthrough will open doors for others. Your faithfulness will prove that purpose is stronger than circumstance. But this will only happen if you honor the urgency of the moment and refuse to compromise on what you know you are meant to do. Chosen one, hear this warning and let it ignite action within you. The world may try to slow you down, distractions may rise, and fear may whisper lies, but none of it can stop what is already written in your destiny. You were chosen for this moment. You were prepared for this season, and you are capable of walking boldly into a future that is calling your name. Do not delay. Do not doubt. Step forward with courage, rise with clarity, and embrace the elevation that has been waiting for you. Your breakthrough is now, and your time is unstoppable.